Excellency, stop! Excellency, stop!
Marks person of the course, service number 09145, recruit Timothy Kibet Kimeli, G Company.
Excellency, stop! Excellency, stop! Excellency, stop!
Best company in turnout and bearing, company representative, Chief Inspector Lucy Wangeshi Nyatu, F Company.
Thank you, Excellency, sir. Thank you, Excellency, sir.
And lastly, Your Excellency, sir, the best division in tree planting, division representative, Chief Inspector Ali Adman Nzuya, Mount Kenya Division.
Stop! Thank you, Excellency, stop! Thank you, Excellency, stop!
Basi naomba tuwapongeze kwa makofi wote waliotunukiwa. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Rais. Basi Mheshimiwa Rais, mbele yako ni gwaride linalojumuisha vikundi 60 wakiwa ni askari 2664 ambao tayari kabisa Mheshimiwa Rais wako tayari kufuzu siku ya leo. Gwaride hili Mheshimiwa Rais liko chini ya uongozi wake mkuu wa gwaride Superintendent Matthew Chirichir, akisaidiana na kiranja wa gwaride Chief Inspector Clement Naukot. Parade RSM ambaye anashughulikia nidhamu ya gwaride hili Mheshimiwa Rais ni Sergeant Masai Patek. Burudani letu Mheshimiwa Rais linaongozwa na bendi yetu ya Kenya Forest Service chini ya uongozi wake Inspector Charles Bore, akisaidiana na Senior Drum Major Sergeant Faith Bosire. Vision 20 tayari kabisa Mheshimiwa Rais kufuata agizo lako la upanzi wa miche bilioni 15 itimiapo mwaka 2032. Kenya Forest Service wakiwa ni washikadau wakuu wako tayari kabisa Mheshimiwa Rais kuweza kushirikiana na wananchi kuhakikisha kwamba agizo lako limetekelezwa. Karibu Mheshimiwa Rais. Vikundi 60, contingent ya kwanza ikihusisha vikundi 10 wanajitayarisha sasa kuweza kupita mbele ya jukwaa kutoa heshima zao kwa mwendo wa polepole, huku bendi yetu ikitokea magharibi mwa uwanja chini ya usimamizi wake Director of Music Inspector Charles Bore wako tayari kabisa kuweza kuchukua nafasi zao. Anayeshughulikia nidhamu ya kikundi hicho ni Sergeant Felix Setabao. Kikundi cha pili kikiongozwa naye Chief Inspector Bernard Ngeya akisaidiana naye Inspector Christine Amadi. Mkuu wa nidhamu katika kikundi hiki Mheshimiwa Rais ni Sergeant Chapil Olisa. Kikundi cha tatu Mheshimiwa Rais kinaongozwa naye Chief Inspector Grace Mudike akisaidiana naye Inspector Felix Ekai. Mkuu wa nidhamu katika kikundi hiki ni Sergeant Judith Onchwari. Kikundi cha nne Mheshimiwa Rais kinaongozwa naye Chief Inspector Ali Zuya akisaidiana naye Inspector Moses Leparan. Mkuu wa nidhamu katika kikundi hiki ni Sergeant Kevin Wandeto. Mheshimiwa Rais kitafuata kikundi cha tano kikiongozwa naye Chief Inspector Joseph Mutai akisaidiana naye Inspector Linet Machuki. Mkuu wa nidhamu katika kikundi hiki ni Sergeant Karafino. Basi mwisho wa onyesho hilo Mheshimiwa Rais ni kikundi cha 10 kikiongozwa naye Inspector David Wanaswa akisaidiana naye Inspector Safari Senga. Nyuma ya kikundi hicho Mheshimiwa Rais ni Sergeant Job Orina. Katikati ni parade RSM wetu Sergeant Masai Mate. Anayemalizia udhia basi ni kiranja wa gwaride letu Chief Inspector Clement Nauko. Asante. Mheshimiwa Rais. Kwa sasa gwaride linabadili mwendo kutoka mwendo wa polepole hadi mwendo wa kasi. Vikundi vyote 60 vitaweza kupita mbele ya jukwaa kuweza kutoa heshima zao. Wakiwa tayari kabisa Mheshimiwa Rais kuweza kulinda misitu yetu masaa 28. Vikundi vyote 60 vitapita mbele yako kwa mwendo wa kasi. Tunaomba basi kujumuika naye Mheshimiwa Rais kuweza kupokea heshima kutoka kwa askari hawa. Kinapita sasa kikundi cha 6 kikiongozwa naye Chief Inspector Ann Chergut akisaidiana naye Inspector Benjamin Okring. Mkuu wa nidhamu katika kikundi hicho ni Sergeant Alan Asdigo. Kitafuata sasa Mheshimiwa Rais kikundi cha 7 kikiongozwa naye Chief Inspector John Liwa akisaidiana naye Inspector Washira Gatweria. Mkuu wa nidhamu katika kikundi hicho ni Sergeant Alfred Wekesa. Kinafuata kikundi cha 8 Mheshimiwa Rais kikiongozwa naye Chief Inspector Jennifer Tompoi akisaidiana naye Inspector Samuel Magige. Mkuu wa nidhamu ni Sergeant Martin Ngatia. Kikundi cha 9 Mheshimiwa Rais kinaongozwa naye Chief Inspector George Kimani akisaidiana naye Inspector Michael Cobb. Mkuu wa nidhamu Sergeant Bukayo Dida. basi Mheshimiwa Rais, ikiwa na mwisho wa maonyesho ya vikundi, bendi yetu inaondoka tayari kabisa kuweza kupisha gwaride. Kwa hivi sasa askari hao wanajitayarisha kuja mbele yake Mheshimiwa Rais, hatua 14. Basi tunaomba kusimama kwa wimbo wa taifa. Mheshimiwa Rais, wanachukua sasa nafasi zao wakuu wa kichungaji kitengo cha walinda misitu kutongoza katika hafla ya kutoa kiapo. Karibu.
Offenses against the same, and that I shall, to the best of my skills and knowledge, discharge all the duties of a forest ranger, faithfully according to the law, and that during my tenure in the Kenya Forest Service, I shall observe all such lawful orders as may be given to me, and I shall observe all acts, regulations and orders relating to the Kenya Forest Service, which may from time to time be enforced. So help me God. So help me God.
Mheshimiwa Daktari William Ruto, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya na Amiri Jeshi Mkuu wa Majeshi ya Ulinzi, nikubali sasa niweze kumwalika mkuu wa chuo chetu aendeleze ratiba iliyosalia. Welcome, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, and the Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defense Forces, Forest Law Enforcement Academy welcomes you to this passing out parade, and to proceed, I'll invite the Chief Conservator of Forests to guide us on the next program. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, Sir, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces of the Republic of Kenya, the Cabinet Secretary for Environment, Climate Change and Forestry, the Principal Secretary for the State Department of Forestry and that of Environment, guests that are here, all protocols observed. Your Excellency, Sir, today marks a very momentum day for Kenya Forest Service because of your gesture, we today have these rangers who are ready to be deployed to the field. We thank you for that gesture and may God bless you. And without taking much time, it's now my duty to welcome the Governor for Nakuru to come and say 1 or 2 words and thereafter invite the CS for Environment. Welcome.
Oh, thank you, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defense Forces, the Cabinet Secretary for Environment, Climate Change and Forestry, Honorable Soipan Tuya, Principal Secretaries, Chairman, Kenya Forest Service Board, the Chief Conservator of Forests. Mine here today, Your Excellency, is really just to introduce all our leaders who are with us this morning. And I will begin with our area MP, Madam Speaker, Madam Mheshimiwa Wangari. Asante. We also have the MP for Nakuru Town East, Mheshimiwa Gikaria, who is the chair of the Environment Committee in Parliament. We have Senator Tabitha Karanja, the Senator of Nakuru. Oh, sorry. Okay. We have Honorable Lisa Chelule, the Women Rep Nakuru County. We also have Mheshimiwa Kamuren, who is the MP Baringo South. And Your Excellency, I have my colleague, who is the Governor of Taita Taveta, Governor Muadime, but also the chair, or rather also the chair of the Environment Committee of the Council of Governors. And Your Excellency, today I will only congratulate. My role here will just be to congratulate and wish the very best for our forest rangers who are congratulate and wish the very best for our forest rangers who are graduating here today. And as they join this noble national cause, wish them all the best going forward in their careers and in helping you and us in conserving the forests. And as I conclude, I say Genesis, I quote Genesis 2:15, which says, "The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it." So as you proceed, please help us conserve our forests. Thank you, Your Excellency, and let me take this time to invite the Cabinet Secretary for Environment, Her Excellency, Madam Soipan Tuya. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Governor. Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, Cabinet Secretary colleagues present. I see Honorable Zachary Njeru, the Cabinet Secretary for Water and Sanitation, the Governor of Nakuru County, Her Excellency Madam Susan Kihika, members of Parliament present, led by the area MP, Honorable Martha Wangari. I also recognize my chairman of the National Assembly Committee on Environment, Honorable David Gikaria, as well as all the members of the committee present. Also, Honorable Kadhambi, who is the National Assembly Climate Change Caucus Chair. My principal secretaries, PS for Forestry, Honorable Gitonga Mugambi, and Engineer Festus Ngeno for Environment and Climate Change, the Regional Commissioner, and the Kenya Forest Service Board, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, on behalf of the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry, allow me to welcome you to the Forest Law Enforcement Academy, here hosted by the National Youth Service. This day marks a great milestone in the work of our ministry. The 2,664 Kenya Forest Rangers in the pass-out parade today is the largest number that has ever been in any single pass-out parade for the Kenya Forest Service since independence. On behalf of the recruits, their parents, guardians, and the people of Kenya, allow me to thank you for making this possible. And it goes to show the seriousness and the high level of regard that you have for the need for us to conserve our natural resources in this country. I also wish to thank the NYS for hosting us and for exemplifying the all-government approach in assisting the Kenya Forest Service to make this a reality, and to specifically also thank the Chief Conservator of Forests as well as the Academy commanders for the exemplary job they have put in to make this a reality. And again, thank the PS Forestry, Gitonga Mugambi, for guiding the process carefully. Your Excellency, the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry has been facing numerous challenges, which include illegal logging, charcoal burning, forest encroachment, among others. We have been working with various partners to increase and improve our forest surveillance to tame these problems. We have improved our forest fires response system, both through technology and mounting surveillance points across our forests. We are also exploring, and with the support of partners, the use of drones to detect illegal forest activities. Your Excellency, you also know that we are calling out to our partners to help us fence off all our protected ecosystems in the country. With all this, Your Excellency, the passing out of these recruits today will only come to complement in a big way these efforts, which will improve the health of our forest ecosystems. Your Excellency, forests are important for Kenya. They provide many resources that we use in our daily lives. They are a biodiversity haven, giving home to important biodiversity which support human existence. They help in the mitigation of climate change because of their ability for carbon sequestration. Forests support jobs in the forest value chain. As a ministry, we look forward, and we have put measures in place to deploy these forest rangers who are graduating today to the various hotspots to address the challenges that I have mentioned, Your Excellency, and to safeguard and enhance our forest plantations to help us make the best use of our forest resources. Forests sustain rural livelihoods, especially for the forest-adjacent communities. Forests remove harmful pollutants from the atmosphere and pump in oxygen. They protect us from natural disasters, offer recreation for sports and tourism. They offer a wide variety of ecosystem services that support human beings. In short, Your Excellency, forests are life. Your Excellency, I have highlighted all these benefits of forest, which is in line with our national landscape and ecosystem restoration program towards the growing of 15 billion trees that you launched last year, to underscore the fact that all these activities that you lead us in delivering are not only useful for the environment, for the environment's sake, but for the whole of humanity, given the interconnectedness of the environment, human rights, and sustainable development. Your Excellency, we are waiting with bated breath for the short rains to come. And Your Excellency, as we wait for heavens to bless us and we are praying, we have set in place the strategy for each and every individual Kenyan to take their space to help us realize the growing and nurturing of 15 billion trees. Your Excellency, as you know, it is a whole government approach, and I would like to encourage our county governments, and here we are in Nakuru today. Her Excellency, Governor Susan, she has her targets. Our members of parliament have their targets. Your Excellency, the private sector have come out with a lot of enthusiasm to support our efforts. Each and every ministry, department, and agency of government has their targets rolled out. And we are saying to individual Kenyans, at the very bare minimum, if we do 100 trees per Kenyan per year, we are going to surpass the 15 billion tree growing target. It is doable. Your Excellency, we are putting in a lot of effort with the support of all the MDAs that have been enumerated, particularly the National Youth Service, the Kenya Defense Forces, the State Department of Correctional Services, to propagate and produce and distribute seedlings across the country. And we are inviting Kenyans, as we pray for the rain, please take your space, go to the nearest Kenya Forest Service facility near you. You will have available seedlings to cover the short rains. Go to the Kenya Forestry Research Institute, Your Excellency, with your support. We are now having 11 seed centers across the country, and I invite all Kenyans to pick their seedlings as we wait for the rains. Let us join efforts to make this a reality. It is doable. And with that, Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to say congratulations to all the Kenya Forest Rangers on this pass-out parade today. And I now take this honor, Your Excellency, to invite you to address us this morning. Karibu, Your Excellency.
Asanteni sana. Tafadhali tuketi chini wale mko na viti. Thank you very much. Graduates, the Kenya Forest Service community, pamoja na wazazi wetu wote waliofika hapa, hamjambo. I am delighted to join the graduates, their families and friends, as well as the Kenya Forest Service Law Enforcement Academy community, as you celebrate this important milestone in the careers of the graduates. The history of this academy, the sustainability of the forest sector and conservation movement, as well as our country's journey to the fulfillment of our collective determination to sustain the environment for the benefit of present and future generations. This occasion, therefore, positions the graduating class, together with the Kenya Forest Service in its entirety and the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change, as the focal point of a critical constitutional mandate with existential implications, not only for us in Kenya, but for humanity in its entirety. Article 42 of the Constitution recognizes every person's right to a clean and healthy environment, which includes the right to have the environment protected for the benefits of the present and future generations, and to have obligations relating to environment fulfilled under Article 70. Article 69 sets out the state's obligations in respect of the environment, which include ensuring the sustainable management and conservation of the environment and natural resources, achieving and maintaining tree cover at least 10% of the national land area, and eliminating those processes and activities likely to endanger the environment. Our National Development Blueprint, the Kenya National Vision 2030, makes a clean and secure environment a necessary component of our development agenda. Moreover, the bottom-up economic transformation agenda commits us to implement the constitutional tree cover mandate together with the strategies to achieve mitigation, adaptation, and resilience in response to the impacts of climate change as part of a broader program to fulfill our commitment to reduce emissions by 32% by 2030. More than 2/3 of our landmass is arid and semi-arid rangelands. As a result of climate change, extreme weather, including prolonged and severe drought as well as flooding, have caused unprecedented levels of devastation, through famine, loss of livelihoods, dried crops, and dead animals, both livestock and for the first time wild game. Our increased vulnerability to extreme weather and climate conditions is a consequence of negligent and dangerous human activity, such as the wanton destruction of forests, indiscriminate felling of trees, and clearing of vegetation, unsustainable land use practices, and the reckless encroachment of riparian and wetland ecosystems. Climate change itself, caused by global warming as a result of dangerous accumulation of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, is driven by industrial emissions and pollution and the systematic compromising of the Earth's capacity to sequester carbon and the atmosphere using its natural lungs, which are our forests. Kenya is a strong champion of climate action with a track record of Pan-African and global leadership and participation in such frameworks, programs, and initiatives as the Conference of Parties to the United Nations Framework on Convention on Climate Change, the Paris Summit, and most recently, the first ever Africa Climate Summit. We are also the home of the United Nations Environmental Programme, UNEP, and have a long history of effective climate and environmental multilateral diplomacy. Our commitments with regard to climate action are therefore fundamental to our development agenda and critical to our national interest. The protection of biodiversity is a constitutional obligation of the state that touches on fundamental rights of present and future generations of all our citizens. Our tree cover and forests sit at the heart of this commitment, both in terms of protection and conservation, and also with respect to enhancement and protection of all our environmental assets. I find it important to share this context with you, and especially with the graduates. If anyone told you, young people standing before me today, that your job is a routine occupation, they are very mistaken. You enter our national economic transformation equation as the people's trustees and guarantors of fundamental constitutional mandates and custodians of our forest value chain, which comprises critical resources and essential community assets. Our lives and livelihoods depend on the protection and sustenance of our biodiversity and the mitigation of climate change. You are therefore expected to be drivers of our national landscape and ecosystem restoration program and lead our organizations, communities, and especially the young people in making sure that our ambition to grow 15 billion trees by 2030 is actualized. Wacha nirudie kwa Kiswahili ili tuelewane. Tumekubaliana ya kwamba majukumu mnayoenda kuchukua kutoka leo sio majukumu ya ajira peke yake. Ni majukumu ya muhimu katika kuhakikisha ya kwamba matatizo ya kubadilika kwa hali ya mazingira yanashughulikiwa. Azma yetu kama taifa kupanda miche bilioni 15 inatimia. Na vile vile tunapata nafasi kama taifa kutumia rasilimali zetu za misitu kuongeza nafasi za ajira na vile vile kuzalisha uchumi wa taifa letu la Kenya kwa kuhakikisha ya kwamba rasilimali zetu za misitu inatumika katika kutengeneza furniture ya taifa letu la Kenya, na kuhakikisha kwamba vijana wetu wanajumuishwa katika nafasi za ajira, ikiwemo mpango wetu wa nyumba 1,200 kila mwaka. Tutahitaji rasilimali nyingi ambazo zitatumika kutoka misitu yetu. Mimi nataka niwaeleze ya kwamba kazi mnayochukua ni ya muhimu sana katika taifa letu la Kenya. And as the largest ever to graduate from this institution, you are aware of our firm commitment to develop adequate capacity to keep illegal logging, charcoal burning, and other forms of unlawful encroachment and interference with the integrity of our forests at bay. This commitment extends to training and equipping of personnel and investing in technology to improve operational capabilities in surveillance, data collection, and evidence-based forest management. I encourage you, therefore, to go forth as patriotic servants of the people of Kenya and to render your professional service with discipline, dedication, diligence, and unyielding integrity. Let me repeat, unyielding integrity. I remind you to use every opportunity to promote sustainable practices and urge you to always exercise your authority responsibly and accountably. And let me say this for the record, my sons and daughters, the young people of Kenya, as you graduate today, that you have a huge responsibility on your shoulders. But I am confident that the training that you have received in this institution and your personal selection into this great army of forest rangers is merited. And therefore, I have the highest expectation from you that you will discharge your responsibilities responsibly and accountably. There are many who have let us down. The reason why I made the decision that we are going to recruit the largest ever group of rangers, trainees in Kenya, in post-independence Kenya, is because the matter of climate change, the matter of our environment is critical, it is important, and it poses an existential threat, not just to us as a country, but to humanity in general. Na ndio sababu katika ghafla hii ambayo hawa vijana wetu wanapata nafasi ya kufuzu wakiwa ni cohort ama vijana ambao wanafuzu leo ni vijana 2,664. Tuko pia na forest officers ambao watakuja hapa baada ya graduation hii 600 watakao sasa tusaidia kusimamia misitu yetu katika taifa letu la Kenya. Na tumefanya hivi makusudi kwa sababu tuko na mambo manne ya muhimu. Ya kwanza, tuko na matatizo ya kubadilika kwa mazingira, na ni lazima tushughulikie tatizo hilo kwa sababu ni ya muhimu. Tumepoteza wanyama wengi, mifugo yetu pamoja na wanyama wa pori kwa sababu ya mabadiliko ya mazingira, na ni lazima tubadilishe mienendo yetu, kupanda miti vile tumesema bilioni 15, na nyinyi vijana wetu ndio mtakao tusaidia kutekeleza wajibu huo. Jambo la pili, tumekuwa na matatizo makubwa kulinda misitu yetu na mazingira yetu, na imechangiwa kwa sehemu na officers wetu wachache. Kwa sababu ya uchache wa officers wetu ndio tumepata matatizo. Ndio tuliamua kama serikali that tutaongeza maradufu. We are going to double the double the officers that will assist the country manage our forest reserves. Kwa hivyo ni jambo la pili ya muhimu kwamba hawa officers wengi ambao tumewaajiri ni kwa sababu tunataka tuondoe changamoto ya kuharibika kwa misitu yetu. Na jambo la nne ni kwamba tunataka kutumia rasilimali zetu za misitu kuhakikisha ya kwamba tunapata nafasi ya ajira katika sekta yetu ya kutengeneza furniture. Katika budget yetu ya mwaka huu tumeweka ushuru kwa wale wanataka kutuletea furniture kutoka nchi zingine, na tuko na vijana wetu wengi wamesoma, wako na uwezo wa kututengenezea furniture katika taifa letu la Kenya. Kwa hivyo jukumu letu katika kushughulikia sekta hii ni kuhakikisha kwamba tunapanua nafasi za ajira kupitia sekta hii ya kutumia rasilimali yetu ya misitu, kuhakikisha kwamba hatuagizi vitanda na meza na furniture na viti kutoka nchi zingine zitengenezwe na vijana wa taifa letu la Kenya, tukitumia rasilimali yetu ya misitu ya taifa la Kenya. Na ndio sababu tunaongeza hawa officers watuchungie rasilimali hizo, ili wale watu wachache ambao wametumia hizo rasilimali kwa njia isiyofaa tuweze kuwazuia. Na jambo la tatu, la nne, tunataka pia kutumia rasilimali zetu za misitu kuzalisha uchumi wa taifa letu la Kenya, ili tuweze kutumia rasilimali ambazo ziko Kenya kuhakikisha ya kwamba hatutumi foreign exchange ama pesa zetu za kigeni tukiwa tunaagiza vitu ambavyo zinaweza kutengenezwa na vijana wetu katika Kenya wakitumia rasilimali zetu hapa Kenya. Na ndio sababu na mimi nataka niwashukuru communities, jamii ambazo wanaishi karibu na misitu. Wengi wa community forest associations wametusaidia sehemu kubwa kuhakikisha kwamba uharibifu wa mazingira ama misitu haiendelei wakiwa pale wakitazama. Kupitia kwa ushirikiano na wizara ambayo inahusika na na KFS, kumepatikana wale wafanyikazi wa KFS waliozembea kazini, walio wafisadi na walioshughulika na kusaidia kuharibika kwa misitu ya taifa letu la Kenya. Na nimeamrisha bodi ya KFS, hawa wote waliopatikana aidha wakizembea ama wakijihusisha na ufisadi ama wakichangia kuharibika kwa misitu yetu, wote waondolewe kazini na wapelekwe kotini. Wamepatikana tayari forest managers and forest rangers 23. Those who have been found either compromised, incompetent, or engaged in corruption in this space that has led to the destruction of our forest assets, I have instructed the board to remove them from being officers of government and workers of government, and as the DCI is concluding investigations, to make sure that these people are prosecuted. From tomorrow, I don't want them in government payroll. These are people who are saboteurs and who are encouraging the destruction of our environment. There must be a thorough cleanup in the Kenya Forest Service. And I have instructed the ministry to make sure that the tragedy that had become of the Kenya forest and environmental conservation in our country must come to an end. And that we are going to take whatever steps that are necessary to protect our environment, to protect our forests, and to make sure that the many good officers in the Kenya Forest Service, including those who are joining today, who are before me, have an opportunity to serve our country with integrity. Let me also say and congratulate the National Youth Service for working with our Kenya Forest Service in sharing these facilities of training. This is the true spirit of one government approach. We must continue to share all the facilities that we have, either for training or any other facilities, so that we can make sure that we use optimally all the infrastructure that we have at our disposal. I also want to state here and congratulate the management of Kenya Forest Service. I am informed that the uniform that these graduates are wearing and also the shoes are all locally made in Kenya by Kenyans. And I have already issued instructions going forward. All uniforms, shoes, and other pieces and items of clothing that are required by all our security services must be manufactured locally by our companies and made by our Kenyan young people. Let me also underscore that going into the future, we will continuously refine and review the terms of service of all our officers. We've just concluded one for our police, prisons, and NYS. We will embark on Kenya Forest Service and KWS to see how they too can work in an environment where the people of Kenya appreciate the contribution they are making towards making our country sustainable. Let me conclude by saying that we will not allow the few people engaged in criminal activity to deny us the opportunity to exploit our commercial forests, our forest assets, for the growth of our country and the growth of our economy and the creation of jobs for our young people. We will deal firmly with them. We will be decisive and give ourselves the opportunity to use our forest assets responsibly, sustainably, to grow our economy, grow our jobs as we grow our country. I commend you, young people here, for your successful undertaking in this useful and rigorous education and training program, and congratulate you on your graduation. On behalf of the people and government of Kenya, I wish you God's blessings and success as you serve your nation and as you help us save our planet from climate disaster. Thank you very much. Congratulations again. My very best wishes. Na vile waziri amesema, na nimefurahi ya kwamba tuko na Wakenya wengi. Nimeambiwa hapa ya kwamba kuna Wakenya hapa karibu 30,000 na wamekuja kusherehekea graduation hii ambaye nimesema ndio kubwa zaidi tangu tuwe taifa huru kwa watu wa Kenya Forest Service. Na tunafanya hivi makusudi kwa sababu ni jambo la muhimu sana katika taifa letu. Tunangojea mvua ya wakati huu, na tumekubaliana ya kwamba katika msimu huu wa short rains tayari Kenya Forest Service na Wizara ya Environment wako na miche milioni 150. Na mimi nataka niwaulize Wakenya wote katika kila sehemu ya Kenya, haya miche ama ya seedlings milioni 150, kila mmoja wetu ashughulike, kila department, kila wizara, kila kitengo, na hata watu wa private sector tujumuike pamoja, kwa sababu yale tunayofanya ni mazingira ya taifa letu na itatuhusu sisi zote. Asanteni sana, na mkienda nyumbani msalimie wazazi wenu, na kwa wazazi mliokuja hapa, asanteni sana kwa kuheshimu hawa vijana na kwa kuja katika sherehe hii ya kufuzu kwao, kwa sababu pia nanyi mnatambua umuhimu wa mazingira na kazi vijana hawa wataenda kutimiza. Asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki. Thank you very much.
Basi baada ya heko kwa Mheshimiwa Rais, mkuu wa gwaride ataomba ruhusa ili aliondoe gwaride.
Your Excellency, may I have your permission to march off the parade service?